Japan will kick off. Haven blows the whistle, and the Ireland-Japan game is underway. Zebo with the catch just on the 22-metre line. Luke McGrath, his first start, gets the ball to Jackson. Jackson finds the safety a touch.
It seems like a small thing, but Jackson, of course, would have learned a lot from watching Joey Carberry and how Ireland performed. That's a slightly different exit strategy Ireland have employed there. They're playing into the wind, but look at the significant gain of ground. Last week, Ireland tried to chip it out. That was part of what the Eagles were trying to do and to counteract it, but a great exit from Ireland and from Jackson.
Well, good work. Ball quickly off the line out into midfield. Earls up to make a crunching tackle, but the ball popped up nicely to Fukuoka. Tanaka sends the box kick. Tester for the Irish back three. Zebo rises. Toda was there in support. The ball's gone backwards. Zebo looking for a little gap in that defence. Tanaka made the tackle. Ireland recycle quickly. This is the captain, Ruddock. McGrath sends up a huge box kick. Well taken, Earls there to make the tackle quickly. Ireland almost drive over the ball. And fingertips to that half block down. Still an awkward one. Well, Zebo was tackled as he received the ball, couldn't hold on to it.
There's an incredible quality of kicking from both scrum halves, and all the kicks thus far have been wonderfully contestable. You can see Jack Conan, who had a marvellous game against the USA last week, getting fingers to it, but every single ball has been contestable under it. Great kicking from both halfbacks.
We need to be into so you need to get closer.
No difference in the front row weights, bit of a difference in the overall pack.
You'd hate to point a finger at which one is adding the extra weight, but Devin Toner, 6'10", is carrying a few extra with that height.
Bit of pressure from the Irish scrum, but Japan get the ball away quickly. Neat little interplay. Andrew Conway makes the tackle. He makes himself as small as possible when he's on the wrong side of the ball. Japan continue. Well, Conan's in there quickly. Has he got his hands on the ball? What a steal by Conan. Gets his body the right way round. Brilliant work by the number 8. Toner almost got his head taken over the pass. Conway. Tricky one for Earls to pick, but Earls decides to chip down the tram lines. And kicks on here. It's going to be a foot race. Oh, goes infield. Not quite the bounce Ireland wanted, but recovered well by Noguchi, and he finds a good touch. A bright start for the two Ireland wingers.
Well, first of all, John, the conditions allows Ireland. Anytime there's a cheap turnover, as there was there, Ireland got 2 big passes on it. But look at this. Wasn't cheap in the sense it was hard fought by Conan. A fantastic body position. But the 2 passes then from Ireland, boom, boom, not the best of second passes, but Earls puts it into green grass, foot rush. It seems there's nothing he cannot do now at this stage. Everything is falling for his place. And of course, he's conscious that the lines aren't that far away from where he is at the moment. Great bit of play from Ireland.
Toner rises at the front. Jackson skips one on the line now, thrown all the way wide. A little bit in front of Conway. Takes it on the first bounce. Ruddock, another good carry from the captain. Scannell brought in on the flat pass, but straight into big contact. Japan defence well organised. Oh, little pick Good work from Dan Levy, great release off the ground as well. Rhys Riddick decides to change the direction, goes to Earls.
There was lots of space. There was lots of space the other way.
Playing a penalty advantage.
Jackson tries the crossfield kick with Zebo a little bit ahead. It doesn't matter. Goes straight to touch and back they come for the penalty.
Number 5 offside. Yeah. Previous breakdown.
Several phases back, of course, Ireland decided to attack the Japanese defence, which was very flat but also quite narrow, and the left wing Fukuaku was very, very narrow. So the ball actually got outside. The quality of pass didn't quite materialise into a line break, but it's a clever use of what Japan are doing. A lot of research goes into this, obviously. Mervyn Murphy on the video in analysing. But a good quality opening from Ireland. Real quality breakdown play. Jake Cronin obviously got a great steal.
We'll give you time to do the water. You can just get to the side.
Well, first opportunity on the tour for Paddy Jackson from the kicking tee. 172 points for Ireland so far in his international career. No mistake. Nice easy one really for him for first shot at goal. Ireland have the early lead. 3 points to 0.
I think part of the summer series is about out half. Who's going to be the second out half in Ireland? Who's going to be the person putting all the pressure on Sexton? And that's what Jackson will be concerned about this weekend. Get control over the fixture, keep Ireland going forward, and when there's a chance to score points, as it did, take them.
Maffey makes the tackle, stole a metre or two before the ball was kicked and got up to Ringrose. Jackson, of course, the only Ulster man in the starting 15. Great footwork from the Irish tight head John Ryan, gliding through a gap. Quinn Roux looking at the defensive line before he had the ball secured. Dan Levy pleading with the referee that he was doing his best to get out of the way. That's a nice kick into space. Andrew Conway has to race back into the 22. Gathers it at the second attempt. Not so easy to slide on the surface here. The bounce just surprised Conway a little bit, but he did well to recover. But Ireland back 5 metres from their own try line. And sensible work. McGrath finds touch.
That's the beauty of an oval ball when it decides to bounce the way you don't want it to go. But Conway is very conscious of the outside centre chasing up. He took a little look at him, but great body position, which ultimately the referee decided was a penalty. But that bobbling ball is never helpful. But look at the tackle was being made. He didn't discharge from the tackle, and that's where the penalty came from.
Oh, ball secured in the line out, but then dropped. It's been knocked down. Ireland turn it over. Scannell. Good option for Ireland, can operate as a second outside half if needed. And Earls gets those feet dancing, goes to Zebo, who was standing still. Matsushima got a boot out to block it into touch.
This is what fascinates me. Japan traditionally just don't have the same height as the home nations would have, but they're so inventive around how to maximise all the different clever plays. And I think Eddie Jones, the now English coach, brought some really, really clever stuff to how Japan use the ball, particularly off their rucks, and how they play the scrum half links with a couple of their outside backs and their forwards. That interplay around the outside channels just 5-10 metres from the breakdown is very, very clever. A lot of that stuff is what Eddie Jones has brought to the side, and Jamie Joseph, who was just in screen there, is obviously a very a very formidable back row in his own right, and has added to that. But that stuff is really, really fascinating, and to see how they maximise every opportunity to use the ball as best they can. A big difference between today and against the Eagles is that Ireland have the vast majority of possession and are using it quite cleverly, whereas the opening 15-20 minutes against the USA had total dominance of possession, but anytime they turned it over, Ireland just maximised and scored the tries. It's a big shift. He's a big man playing. Maffey was also another man who played again. He actually threw the pass, the winning pass that was scored in the dying moments of the match against the Springboks in World Cup 2015. He came off the bench that particular day. He's a formidable player, but that particular match was just phenomenal.
Just seemed to slide a little bit on the surface here and strain the left leg, but he's okay. Winroo rises, takes the ball in the Irish line at Ireland, get the maul moving. Scannell carrying at the back. Winroo exits and comes all the way around to the back to take over the ball carrying duty. This is good work from Ireland. Japan struggling to deal with this. It's 20 metres Ireland have advanced, now they're stopped. Cian Healy wants to go a little bit further, now he's been wrapped up. Ball not coming out, Ireland needed to use it quicker. Marius van der Westhaven just running out of patience.
But it was a clever tactic from Ireland. You can see what they're trying to do is hold possession, build for the final 20 minutes of the game. In other words, you're not going to, maybe you might eke out a penalty there, but you're not going to score a try from a line-up maul from 60-70 metres out. But what it is doing is controlling the ball, is controlling possession, and is fatiguing Japan out. A great turnover for Japan in that sense. But you can see what Ireland are trying to do to fatigue Japan, get them into a different type of game that ultimately will open up with 15 minutes to go and thereabouts. But a great turnover and a great opportunity for Japan.
Well, the Japan scrum under pressure once again. Away comes Jack Conan. Lovely offload to Earls. Well, he started the game with the USA with a try, and he's in for one this afternoon. And it all came from pressure in that scrum. First try of the game goes to Keith Earls in Ireland.
And it's no coincidence that Jack Conan at number 8 is the man to offload it to Keith Earls. The two standout performers last week are already on fire again today. Superb play. But see the way Jack Conan, his first instinct is to go forward, but he always keeps his eyes up and his hands free to get that offload as well. But Earls then, as your classic poacher, along with the many other talents and skills in his armoury, right on the shoulder, but great interplay from the Irish number 8 to the Irish left wing. Super score.
Yeah, Conan committed the tackler, kept the ball alive, put Keith Earls away. Jackson with the opportunity to add the 2 points. Slightly more testing kick this time. 6 metres in from the touchline. Good kick from Jackson. Ireland stretched the margin to 10 points. So not the start Japan would have wanted. They've been competitive, but haven't really threatened to score. And Ireland away with a try, penalty and conversion. Luke McGrath stumbling and rumbling and rolling on. Scannell had to jump backwards, throw his body on the ball. McGrath back to his feet and back to scrum half position.
blocking him. They're not giving the ball.
Illegal blocking to protect the kicker here.
Yeah, it probably gave a little bit of a picture to the referee, like every international team on the planet set up a wall like that. But I suppose the key is that when the referee is watching, not to kind of exaggerate, not to build another extra hurdle for the opposition. Obviously, one of the key principles of the game is you're allowed to contest for possession, but if you're being blocked like that, but that's just that's an unfortunate piece of play from Ireland, and allows Japan, after 13-14 minutes, without having created any real opportunity at all, to get on the scoreboard. They'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, Tamura will have the shot at goal. Shears will tell you Tamura successful with the kick. Japan are onto the scoreboard. Soft chance, but they take it, and that's important. They'll have to take every chance, you think, in this game. Let's try and stay in touch on the scoreboard with Ireland.
Yeah, I think it's just disappointing because the previous exits from Ireland were so solid. An unfortunate penalty to concede.
Japan 3, Ireland 10. Great chase by Conway. Puts in the early tackle on Fukuoka. Oh, half blocked down. Zebo deceived by the bounce.
That's a quality exit strategy. If a team can manufacture that type of clearance kick with a little tap and get the line out, that's a great result for Japan.
Okay. Now get loaded, get over. The winger. See.
Wonderful accuracy from Japan. Superb line out.
Box kick, just a little bit too much distance on it. Conway, plenty of time. Zebo tries a little grubber kick. Good tactic on this surface. Lovely footwork from Matsushima. Great offload. Try a little kick through as well. Conway faced with a wall of red and white shirts. Takes the tackle, and Ireland set up a platform just outside the 22. Oh, the ball's gone loose. Turnover. Can Japan turn it into something here? Tamura, the little chip through. Jackson gets across, takes a big hit for his trouble just outside the Ireland try line. Japan trying to pile over the ball. Ringrose in helping out. Ireland have secured possession. The outside half is at the bottom of that pile.
Number 1 is offside. Number 1 is offside.
Inagaki's just straight offside.
Number 1 is offside. Get to the last athlete.
That's unusual, but you can see the influence of the right winger Matsushima beginning to develop. He's a huge player in the wing. He is beginning to provide a lot of threats to Ireland. A great bit of play from Ireland to hold on to possession right on the try line in that sense. And a cheap penalty. Surprising that Japan have given away 3 penalties to 1, because one of the characteristic traits of the Japanese team is their discipline, and it's giving Ireland the cheap exits.
Medical staff on. Niall Scannell and Paddy Jackson receiving a little bit of attention.
John, 10 years ago this year, I was commentating on the Japan-Canada game, and the wonderful gentleman that is Fred Cogley shared the mic with me for the very first time. My thoughts are very much with the entire Cogley family today for the passing of one of Ireland's true, gentle Irish sporting legends. Thoughts are with the Cogley family.
Yes, and mind you, I worked here with Fred many times on international and schools rugby after he'd retired from RT. Played cricket against him many, many years ago. He was a fine cricketer as a young man as well.
But he was extraordinarily generous to me when we teamed up in that particular game, Ireland or Japan, Canada, and Rugby World Cup 2007, 10 years ago.
Here we go.
Ireland have cleared the lines out to almost the 10-metre line. Japan competing at the back of the line out. Jack Conan comes up with possession. Flat line, Jackson tries a little chip. Well read, Carpenter got back there to cover. Keith Earls lets the ball cross the try line. Touches down for a 22-metre drop out. Cian Healy just receiving some attention. He took 2 big hits there.
I suppose in hurling parlance, John, he's been taking a lot of dirty ball in the opening 18-19 minutes. He's carried about 6 or 7 times. He's always in massive heavy traffic. When you think of when he bursts onto the scene, that is, his pace and his power, he was getting into great holes. But now he's taking all those dirty balls. He's running into heavy traffic and getting bounced around the place. For a big man himself, even in this heavy traffic, is tough hits. But it's a hugely vital role to have someone like that to be able to take on those balls.
Well, good chase by Andrew Conway. Japan looking to inject a bit of pace. Ireland defence drifts across. Good tackle by Earls. Ringrose helping out. Japan recycle quickly. Oh, lovely hands out wide. Fukuoka. Tupu now looking for support. Gets it away. Tanaka throws it back in field. Ito with the carry. Ireland off their feet, attempted to take the ball but left it alone. Good discipline from the Irish defence.
Going on your knees, you've got to release it. Prepare once you get it.
Japan maybe just getting a little bit over anxious. I think it was Mafi kept moving after the tackle.
It was ill discipline. It was a bit silly from the number 8. He has far more experience than this. And this is the second time Japan have got into a real threatening zone and have allowed Ireland away with a cheap, silly penalty around the breakdown. He was held in the tackle. You can see the little Irish scrum half, Luke McGrath, and he kept fighting on. But he was held in the tackle. It was a silly penalty to give away. And again, I'm surprised. It's 4 penalties to 1. It's unusual for Japan to be conceding penalties, particularly in those attacking opportunities.
Yeah. Got a water break?
Referee allowing a water break. All the players eagerly taking on some H2O or whatever other vitamin drinks they're having.
To think back in earlier World Cups and that when Ireland were touring, obviously in foreign lands, you weren't allowed even to bring water on. There was no such thing as a water break, which is phenomenal how professional sport has come along. Actually, this is quite important to keep players hydrated in these types of conditions. But a very disciplined opening from Ireland, conscious of the various threats that Japan bring. Clearly they're happy to play and hold possession, even though a lot of that is just inside their own half. So the statistic we saw there a few minutes back was 58% of possession in their own, between the 22 and the halfway line. They're not going to be overly burdened by that, because that's a good attacking platform area anyway, but they're controlling the ball and they're preventing Japan from building pace.
Japan get up, just disrupt the line out a little bit. Oh, McGrath's found some space. Well, Scannell had done well to recover the ball, but was under pressure straight away and just fumbled it forward slightly on the ground.
Well, the pressure came, John, from the great line-out. Ireland obviously got a penalty kick to touch. We see the breakout from Luke McGrath that ultimately turned in the turnover error, but it was the line-out pressure Japan brought onto Ireland which fundamentally put Ireland in a bad place. Just a bit of poor control at the base of the breakdown, a lot of heavy traffic coming through there, but Ireland need to control that ball a bit better.
Fine. Safe.
Better scrum from Japan that time. His crossfield kick. Matsushima in a lot of space. Just couldn't hold the ball.
Well, you could see what Japan were doing. You're right, the scrum was much, much better. Scrum half actually almost stepped into the scrum to take the ball away. But what the out half there, you can see him. He actually, Tamura, looked with his midfield to set up. Ireland came rushing up, and then the preordained kick when Ireland had rushed up to try and cover an outside back play. Great bit of play, but the kick itself is just that bit too far.
Japan.
Ruddock free catch at the back of the line out. Ruddock in the play again. Great play from from Zebo, got the pass away quickly. Created that little bit of space for Conway. Ruddock again. Brought down just on the Japan 10-metre line. Levy sets it up nicely. Ireland looking for some space now. Bring Ringrose in, and the reverse pass from Scannell. A lot of effort from Ireland, but not much progress upfield. Still outside that 10-metre line. They're beginning to run out of attackers. Zebo decides to kick downfield. Couldn't get away, but Earls is back. Read the danger well. Now Ringrose in a little bit of space here. It just took a little bit too much time. But Earls sees the gap, puts on the burners. The support outside. Scannell weaving into the 22. Good strength from the centre. There's Zebo, pops it up to Ruddock. Healy on his shoulder.
Now that's essentially 5 breakdown penalties Japan have conceded. The referee needs to be a little bit more impatient, but super play. Seems that Earls, every single door opens, every window opens whenever he attacks it. It's the right thing, holds the ball in both hands and feeds off. Great bit of carry from Scannell, and then Cian Healy eventually takes the ball on, and again into massive, like great bravery, massive traffic again. And in there, we can't quite see it. Yeah, the tackle and the ball stolen at the same time. You got to disengage, and that's where the yellow card comes from.
Oh, Ito, yellow card against Romania as well, coming off the bench.
So makes the hit, holds on to the tackle, doesn't disengage, loses his feet. So I suppose there's about 6 or 7 things there that were unfortunate.
Ireland have gone for the corner with the extra man. Little peel around. Levy driving towards the line. Levy's over, and Levy gets the try. And Japan punished quickly for the sin bin.
Very clever play again, because Ireland would know, and Devon Toner would know, that the Cherry Blossoms are down a man. Where are they going to be? Light. Wonderful body position from Levy, and again Cian Healy is just working his socks off. That's the sort of stuff that you don't get on a statistics sheet, the type of assists Cian Healy is doing, but that was hugely important. Just when Levy made the first contact, Healy comes in and adds his considerable bulk to get him over the line. But great body position, really, really clever play from Ireland, and it just looked so fluid, and Japan simply didn't get a finger on it.
First international try for Dan Levy in his 4th appearance in a green shirt. Paddy Jackson, 2 from 2 from the kicking tee. No problem for Jackson. Makes it 3 from 3. Ireland out to 17-3 lead.
Superb line-out. Like, Japan simply didn't get a finger on any opportunity to get in. But as I said, just when Levy had made that initial hit on the white line, Healy came in, added his weight, and there was no chance for Japan at all. Great line-out throw as well from Scanlon. All that came from an Ireland breakout again from inside their half. They're very happy to hold possession and just keep plugging away and allow the likes of Earls to break through and ultimately have the ability to score moments after.
Receives a big hit from Matsushima. Ireland have secured possession. Levy into the arms of his opposite number, Tokunaga. Box kick, a little bit too much distance on it. Muguchi underneath it.
Fantastic kick from the Japan scrum half.
Ready, stay now. What?
Healy, good pressure over the ball. He heard the referee say release, and he did, and he was crossed, but the referee was shouting at the Japanese player. That's a brilliant catch.
Well, it's the kick. Tanaka at number 9 for Japan. That's phenomenal kick and a wonderful catch up and carry. But look at Cian Healy. He's doing all the dirty, horrible stuff, fighting every inch for every single ball he's going, and then he gives the old, come on, ref, give us a break, will you? Superb performance from Cian Healy. Again, not the swashbuckling stuff, but the really, really important stuff. 6 penalties to 1.
The penalty count is showing on the scoreboard as well. Ireland in with 2 early tries. Japan down a man, remember. Ito is in the sin bin.
Ireland shortened to 4.
There comes Earls again, a little bit of pace through, lovely offload. Levy's in, try number 2. Well, old smiles on the bench, big smile from Dan Levy. Second try, brilliant support from the open side, but it was Earls' break once again.
Well, look at the options outside of McGrath. Before he passed the ball, he had Levy and he had Jack Conan. The cherry blossoms sweated upon those 2 big ball carriers, but it was Keith Earls coming in from the blind. Look at it, into the hole. Look at the Japanese back row fixed on the Irish back row, and a great follow-up carry from Levy as well. But the trick there was selling it, the cherry blossoms, and Levy was part of that. And it wasn't Earls coming in, beautifully coming in blind into a hole that no Japanese player had anticipated, and a great offload as well. It seems there's nothing Earls cannot do.
Paddy Jackson, 4th successful kick. Ireland lead 24 points to 3.
So Maffey got it all wrong. He was focusing in on the potential pass outside, and that's the key in rugby. Create space, exploit it. So the first 2, the outside back row forwards created space for Earls, and then ultimately Earls exploited it. So 14 points for Ireland on the yellow card.
Still 3 or 4 minutes left with Ito in the bin. Well, the ball shot forward. Ireland unable to get it at the first attempt, but here comes Niall Scannell. Good strength, eventually tackled by Hori, the Japan captain. Ireland have players here. It's not much space. Good work from Quinn Roux. Back to Conan. It's a race for the corner for Jack Conan, and it's a third try in the sin bin. Conan in the corner, and Ireland exploiting this space, exploiting the extra man.
In many ways it came from a wonderful box kick from McGrath, which is contestable and won again. But look at the amount of Irish forwards there. Quinn Roux getting on the ball. Jack Conan has been the player of today and last week. The only player who's probably standing higher than him is Keith Earls. But it's the array of opportunity. Look at them taking the ball nice and flat, fixing Japanese defenders. Levy gets it, offloads to Quinn Roux, who passes it out and then gets back in. Jack Conan comes in as well. So it's just the array of potential options for the ball carrier that is giving Ireland the opportunity to exploit that space that they're creating.
Well, the score was 10-3 when Ito went to the bin. It was a penalty, a try-saving sort of penalty inside his own 22, but Ireland have really punished Japan here.
I would say, though, that losing a tight head prop is damaging, but it shouldn't be this damaging. In other words, great play from Ireland.
What a kick from Jackson, right on the touchline. Sends that one through the uprights, continues his 100% record.
An extremely competent performance from Jackson. And he'll be conscious of the importance of how he needs to perform with an eye on the autumn series and again leading into the Six Nations for 2018.
Well, change of restart from Japan. It results in coming up with possession. John Ryan putting in the tackle on Shota Hori. Maffey tempted to go the one-handed pick and break straight, but left the ball. Little chip over the top from Tanaka. Conway comes forward. Offload out of the tackle to Zebo. Jackson decides to go for territory, puts the ball into touch just outside the 22.
But he did so with his left foot. A lovely little kick from Jackson. Again, feigning to look to offload, bringing up the Japanese defence. And then with his left foot, Ito will be a little bit, feeling a little bit under pressure here. But you can't blame him for the swing in the scoreboard. Certainly the line-out that Ireland scored off that first try, you can say, okay, him not being there made a difference, but this score differential can't be put down to him.
Hello wins the ball on the line. Ireland penalised, deliberate knock-on.
It looks like Ireland's second penalty in 35 minutes. That's a pretty positive return.
Five minutes to go to half-time.
Ireland not competing.
Murphy carry onto the 10-metre line, hit hard. Leach, just a soft pass. Japan get the ball wide. Oh, lovely footwork. Ringrose gets across, makes it a very important tackle. Japan go back in field, was quickly recycled. Referee's arm is out, advantage. Japan, Ireland have straight offside. Ori, the captain, trying to burrow his way through. Still advantage Japan. Inagaki gets wrapped up.
He's saying number 4.
High tackle.
High tackle committed by Ireland.
Beautiful bit of footwork from the Japanese left winger. Simon Zebu left. Planted his feet in defence a little bit, and then a wonderful play from Fukuoka to get outside in the narrowest of spaces. I didn't quite see, he was saying that Quinn Roux hit high. I didn't quite see it in normal play.
I didn't spot it either.
But it's the first time Japan have got into the Irish 22 and not really conceded a cheap exit, so this is a great opportunity for Japan coming up to half-time. It was a similar position like this. Remember in the South African game, the Rugby World Cup, they were behind, the clock was dead, and they had a line out, and they eventually scored in this corner. Phenomenal play. Can they repeat?
Well, secure possession in the line out. They set up a good maul, but as Quinn Roux got through to the ball carrier here. Ireland pulling it down.
You hear the Irish, someone in the Irish team saying no yellows, no penos and no yellows.
Pensive looks on all the faces of the Japanese backroom staff.
Unusual, 5-man line out 5 metres from the opposition line.
Well, now the support arrive, looking to drive over, but there's too many bodies on the ground. Japan scrambling to secure possession. They have it now. Inagaki just had to wait for that one a little bit. It allowed the Irish defenders to get up to him. Japan have been pushed back a little bit.
Ball's been out for a while.
It's good pressure defence from Ireland. Japan still have that ball. Flat pass across that Ireland defensive line. Have Japan created the space now? There's a gasp of excitement around the ground every time the Japanese attacker comes bursting out of the ball. A little bit of indecision there. Inagaki tidies it up. Elu, good support in his shoulders. Ireland don't commit too many numbers. With a good defensive line once again. Conway with a big hit on Will Tupu. Ori protecting the ball. 30 seconds to go in the first half. It's phase after phase here from Japan, but they're pushed out to the 22 now.
Ireland's defence is extremely narrow. Huge numbers there, but very, very narrow. No space in between. If there's space, see how narrow Ireland are? How Japan are going to get through that? It's a huge test.
No, the ball's been fumbled forward. Levy comes away. Good offload out of the tackle to Toner. Little shoot from Toner. What a carry across halfway. Offloads to Ringrose. Pass just didn't quite go to hand. Advantage Ireland for a knock on. They still have the ball. Zebo standing still, fires it to Earls. Clock is ticked back past the 40, but Ireland play on. Healy with the carry. Scannell at first receiver. Ringrose tries a little rubber kick too, sits up, did it for Conway, just didn't get the right bounce. Japan come on the counter-attack. Is that going to stay in play? It looks like it will. Paddy Jackson decides it's time for a rest, just pops the ball across the touchline. It's been a frenetic first half. It's been all Ireland. Half-time score, Ireland 31, Japan 3.
On fire against lesser opposition, mind you.
Second half underway. Paddy Jackson with the restart. Oh, Conway almost got there. Niall Scannell somehow managing to hold on to the ankle. Japan try a little chip over the top side.
Carpenter certainly looked like he was ahead of the ball, but anyway, Ireland back in possession.
In possession with Rhys Ruddock, the Irish captain. A few changes at half-time. Tiernan O'Halloran is into the action for Ireland.
Okay, thank you.
Ireland getting the ball through the hands all the way to Conway. Leach makes an important tackle and gets back to his feet to recover the ball, but then there's just a foot in touch.
The hands of Quinn Rue. He was part of one of the tries in the first half, but he finds himself out in the right wings. Of course, modern rugby has front five players dotted all over, but this is superb defence from Leach. Up, disengages, gets on the ball. There's no offside line because there's no breakdown at that particular point of view. He's entitled to step up anyway from the tackle. Great bit of play, but very unfortunate to be a little too close to the whitewash. He deserved a little more. But Quinn Rue, again, out in the fire channels, is something you see him in the first half. But this wonderful catch, hold the ball in two hands and offload from the second, good skills from him.
Well, the ball through the hands of Rhys Ruddock that went forward slightly. Scrum Japan. They've also made a change. Shintaro Ishihara in the front row. Hendrik Tui is in the back row. Don't have a recognised second row on the bench. The Tui and Matsuhashi, two back rows.
Crouch. Fine. Sit.
Big shove from Ireland. Turnover. Conan comes up with the ball. The referee's arm is out. Penalty coming Ireland's way if they don't get anything more. They'll try and run a mismatch movement. In and out.
Again, great bit of play. Keane Healy gets outside his man a little bit. See his body position, driving position. Terrible pick-up from the Japanese tight head. Why that's a penalty, obviously, is because of what that was presented to the referee. But Ireland got the advantage in the sense they destroyed the Japanese scrum. But add to that, then there's a penalty and another great opportunity for Ireland to launch more scores on that board.
Keane Healy frustrated about something, but Ireland have possession. Conan with the catch, ball back to Scannell. Yeah, Ireland getting no change from the Japanese defence on that occasion. Till to move the ball. Scannell. Maurice Ruddock bounces off the first tackle, but he was standing still as he received the ball. Tiernan O'Halloran, the half-time replacement for Ireland. First touch for him. Cian Healy receives a big hit from Will Tupu. Dan Levy scored 2 tries in the first half with the carry. Ireland look to move it a bit further, find some weakness in that defence. Healy with the carry, stopped on the 22-metre line. Gary Owen sent up into the 22. Well taken. Japan tapped quickly, looked to counter-attack. See the Irish defence a little bit disorganised, just drilled a long way downfield. O'Halloran chases the bouncing ball back into his 22, and Jackson is there. Hasn't found touch with the clearance, went for distance. Tupu underneath it, throws a long pass infield. Now Japan can be really dangerous in open play.
The two Scannell brothers playing together nicely.
Well, ball pops into the hands of Jack Conan. Is Conan going to race away for try number 2? Conan a little bit lucky, but he capitalises on it. And Ireland have the first try of the second half. Well, when things are going your way, they're going your way, Liam.
And no massive celebration from Jack Conan there. Clearly a work-like performance from Ireland at this point in 2. Cian Healy, a little bit of nice footwork. Creates a bit of indecision around Japan, but again it's a very cheap score, very cheap turnover from Japan, and the best thing to do with a cheap turnover is to punish it as Conan just did. I know they say in rugby, or in any sport, elite sport, where opportunity meets preparation. Obviously Jamie Heaslip has come through his injuries and all that sort of stuff, but Conan has just been phenomenal in what he has done since Heaslip has been out injured. You could also link possibly Peter O'Mahony captaining the Lions a little later on today. He got his opportunity and Heaslip cried off in that English game, and Peter O'Mahony was phenomenal. Those couple of steals in the lineouts against England at vital times must have propelled him into the Lions squad, and now he is deservedly captaining the Lions in a short while.
Japan 3, Ireland 38. Just to tell you, live WBO European title fight, Paddy Barnes versus Silvio Oltiano tomorrow from 7 p.m. Box Nation. O'Halloran secures possession. Ball goes back to Jackson inside the 22. Passed in, so can't go for touch on the full. Leach in the back line. Lovely little flick on pass by Fukuoka. This is better from Japan. Now they try the box kick. O'Halloran, safe pair of hands underneath that, calls the mark.
It's a small point, but you want those kicks, Japan, to be hanging right just in front of the Irish 22. So even if Halloran catches it, he doesn't get the opportunity to mark it.
Another tester for the Irish defence. Luke McGrath made the catch, but a well-timed tackle by Fukuoka. Japan managed to protect the ball. They've men wide here. Irish defence racing across. Oh, it's a lovely break. Tackle a little bit high from Conway. Leach, can he find a way through? Just couldn't get the pass away under pressure from Conan. There's the ball for Japan. They go the narrow side. Chipu, has he reached the line? No, just short. Chewy, the substitute. He's held up. John Ryan getting his body underneath with a tackle. Well, Japan are over here. Have they managed to ground the ball? Referee says it's held up.
I'd like to hear what his interpretation of Conway's tackle. Obviously, it was that bit high, but was it worse in terms of try preventing?
Number 13, a dangerous tackle.
A dangerous tackle called, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a yellow card. What have Japan got up their sleeves here? It looks like it's a prepared move. Going to be a tap and rush. Ishihara's waiting. Now they decide something a little bit more orthodox, go for the corner. And try and rumble over from the line out.
Number 2, make sure your ripper binds on the jumper. When you sponsor the ball, make sure they bind on it. Can you tell him? Will you tell him? Yeah. Tell him.
So Japan are shortening the line out. I think it's down to preventing Ireland's defensive line on getting 2 or 3 pods, getting 3 pods into the air. By taking one of the players out, it prevents Ireland getting to mark up all the zones. Clever play, but the thing is, this close to the line, you want as much muscle available to get over that line.
Well, they've secured possession. Here comes the rumble.
That's Devon Toner making a tackle in a maul, which obviously gives away the penalty.
Free play for Japan. Chewy. Carpenter on his shoulder. Jackson makes the tackle. Here comes Japan once again. Elu with the carry. 5 meters out. They go the other way. Oh, through the hands of Tamura. Referee's whistle blows. Well, Ireland want to be careful here. Tap penalty taken quickly. We're Ireland back 10.
I want to check that tackle. See a tackle?
That's the first time, pretty much in the entire match, where the Japanese scrum half Tanaka decided to up the tempo.
Yeah, I'm referring foul play to you, just on that tackle close to the goal line.
Glenn Newman, the TMO, called into action for the first time.
I'm surprised he didn't.
High or lifting?
I'm surprised he didn't take the TMO's opinion on the previous high penalty, high tackle.
No, it was just a tackle close to the goal line by the player that received the ball.
So Tanaka, that's the first time he's upped the tempo of the ball, up the tempo of the pace. I don't see anything major wrong with that.
I'd say what happened as it came into view to the referee, Conway's arm is kind of around near the chin, but he'd made the tackle first.
It was
Up
chest
was
and
perfectly
chest
okay.
contact.
Yeah, just as he finishes when they go to the ground, this might be what the referee saw.
It's chest and chest contact. Maybe that arm at the very, very end, but chest and chest to begin with. Nothing wrong with that.
That's probably the best angle, Morris.
Yeah.
That's JP Doyle, an Irishman with under an English flag.
Yeah. So, Glenn, what I'm thinking, we've had 3 or 4 penalties in this area, and initially it's fine.
I agree.
But then he finishes him around the neck, so I'm thinking about a yellow card for number 14.
I think that's very harsh, finishing around the neck, because the tackle evolves.
Yeah.
But that's clearly the decision JP Doyle is making.
Captain.
He's telling him what to do.
And he's furthest away.
What we've got is numerous penalties in this area, and then number 14 tackles a guy high, so he's going to the bin. Number 14.
I'm surprised at that, because I think that the high tackle that resulted in a penalty 2 or 3 minutes ago was more damaging, because it prevented a definite Japanese try. We didn't get to see a replay of it, but I think that was a chest-on-chest tackle. To say that it evolved into the right hand, looked a bit messy, is a little bit harsh. Whereas 2 minutes earlier, there was a definite prevention of a try being scored from a high tackle.
Maybe that was JP Doyle's sort of
Without
point.
a doubt, JP Doyle was a huge... Now, they all watched the replay on the screen, but it was definitely him coaching the referee into that outcome.
One more!
Well, Japan with the extra man now for the next 10 minutes. Elu with the catch. Tokanaka spinning away. Tui trying to drive those legs and get some momentum. Ball moved infield. Irish defence holding. Flat pass goes to Carpenter. No way through yet for Japan. Has Levy managed to get in there? Not coming through the gate. Penalty coming for Japan.
Well, again, I disagree. I can't see he was offside. He came perfectly through the gate and drove on through.
A little bit of miscommunication and the free play whistle blows. Back they go for the penalty. What will Japan do here?
11 and 13.
Okay, so he didn't give the penalty against Dan Levy, who did perfectly well against Ireland 11 and 13.
Well, the tap has been taken. Tui spinning away from one tackle, gets to within a metre, lays the ball back. Tokunaga unable to wriggle his way through, but the ball is there. Here they come again this time.
Japan are in. Definite blocking here on Rhys Ruddock. We'd like to see it again, but a definite blocking on it.
JP, is that you?
No, it was TMO. It was TMO.
Okay, yeah. Glenn, we're coming to you for this possible obstruction.
Yeah, so Ryan and Ruddock were prevented from hitting the ball carrier. See the Japanese player coming up in front of Ryan, 13.
Will Tupu.
If he wasn't there, Ryan would have naturally slipped out. Ruddock would have pushed him out, and that, whether he got over or not, is another debate. But certainly Ryan was prevented from hitting the actual ball carrier.
That's the two angles, Morris. Morris, that's the two angles.
Yeah, Glenn, I'll tell you what I'm seeing. I see a player clearly running into a gap, making contact. We've got no other option but to give the penalty for obstruction.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Takes them so long to catch up with you, Liam.
We'll listen to what he has to say.
And he obstructs the player, and that player goes through the gap. It's obstruction and penalty there on the 5.
I won't lie, John, I'm a little disappointed about Japan. I expect they certainly have ebbed away from their World Cup performances. Not necessarily results, but the way they're playing. They definitely have ebbed away on the creative ability to play around the gain line. There was a number of opportunities Japan had to get the ball 2 passes wide, where Ireland were under pressure out wide defensively, and they're going into the trenches, and they're not that very organised, because Eddie Jones's side were brilliant around how to fix fringe defenders and to create gaps. They have lost that ability. But remember Ireland's cheap try that they scored when Japan were down a man off a line-out. Like, Japan didn't have anything really creative as they flood the bench. They didn't have anything particularly creative, and they seem to have lost that cleverness around how to create a bit of space and how to exploit it.
In come Niwai, Matsuhashi, and Yutaka Nagara.
There's a substitution for Japan.
Shota Ori making way. Ruddock rises at the back, wins that.
As usual, one stays backwards.
That had to be a perfect line-out throw. It was scandal, and it was.
Little sniping run down the blind side. Matsuhashi on for Elu. Was almost in for that try a few moments ago that was disallowed.
2, please.
Fumiaka Tanaka, scrum half, making way also.
And there is also substitution for Japan. Number 5 was replaced by number 20, Shuhei Matsuhashi. Number 9 was replaced by number
James
20,
Tracy comes on in place of Niall Scannell. Well, Ireland got fingertips to that one back on the Japan side. Oh, good height on that box kick. O'Halloran got up there, just went forward, couldn't hold the ball.
knock on by Ireland.
Jack O'Donoghue's also into the action for Ireland.
Dan Levy had a big game, didn't he? He obviously got a couple of scores, but his work rate around the breakdown is just phenomenal. He's one of the best in Irish rugby, and certainly in Northern Hemisphere around that, and he's a relatively young guy, and he's going to get so much better. Jack O'Donoghue is a very interesting player. Missed out on the Saracens' opportunity that Munster played in the semi-final, and today is a real big opportunity to get back to where we know he can play.
Huge try from Ireland. Conan comes away, runs into Michael Leach.
Ideally, on those scrums, you want the number 8, you want to pick and go with the wheel. Jack Conan picked and went against the wheel, so the natural wheel from an Irish point of view was clockwise. You see the way the ball, so the space, the pocket of space was in front of him. When he goes around the corner like that, it gives an opportunity for a player of the quality of Leach to snaffle him. It's just those slight windows, a small point, but sometimes it's easier to go with the wheel.
Andrew Conway can only look on.
I think he's very unfortunate.
Here we go. This is your mark.
Possession fairly even in the second half. The Japan scrum under all sorts of pressure. Here comes McGrath. Healy on the burst. Good drive from Healy. Quickly recycled. Jackson had to stoop a little bit to pick that one off his toes, but Ireland still have the ball. Here comes Toner. A spectacular tackle on Devon Toner, but he presents the ball nicely.
How many times has Cian Healy carried the ball into heavy traffic today?
The dummy offload from Ringrose kept the ball in hand, took the tackle. Here's the captain, Ruddock. Healy standing flat, taking the big contact again. Ireland looking to turn slow ball into quick ball, but it's been turned over. Now, Leach. Japan get the ball wide quickly.
See the quality of passing there. That's not Japan. Japan 2 years ago would have put that through the hands better, would have attacked better.
O'Halloran inside his own 22. Awkward little one for Earls, but it's worked out nicely for him. The ball just rolled forward slightly on the ground after Earls tried to place it.
But again, that exit from Japan, they did 3-2. Poor last pass, put the ball behind the player. Jeez, Cian Healy's just exhausted from carrying every time. He just took that standing, didn't get it forward momentum, went to deck quite quickly, but superb, absolutely superb player from Matthew Ashley to get over the ball, and that's the first touch of the ball Keith Earls had in a little while. You'd forgive him the odd loss of control. But I'm disappointed with Japan. I'm disappointed with when they had opportunities, particularly every time they visit Ireland's 22. They're simply getting such poor return. Their penalty count is very, very high. And those little look, Cian Healy looks exhausted. You can see he's just carried into...
No, I'm just
bounced around and carried all those dirty balls. He's been a huge performer today. But again, going back to Japan, I'm just disappointed. The team that they were a couple of years ago, and the team, and there's still there's 9 of those players against South Africa are still involved, and I know there's a changeover play, but it's very hard to frame Ireland's performance. 5 tries, 38 points to 3. Is this something to be joyous of, or should we be disappointed in Japan? There's a little bit of both in it.
Rikia Matsuda into the action. Number 23 for Japan.
Just both lift off the mark. So just work with your hooker. So just work with your hooker so you're going together.
Let's go, boys, yeah? Let's call it in, Reece. Go, call it in, Reece.
Come on. Crouch. Fine.
On the break, on the break.
Matsuda slotting in at fly half. One for you, Tamura.
Keep fighting, keep fighting.
Oh, Japan getting it through their hands nicely here. Have they created the opportunity? Fukuoka almost away. Didn't manage to stand up the defender. Ireland did well, getting across in defence. Down a man, remember, Conway's in the bin. Little change of direction here. Matsuda running crossfield, just runs into a little bit of traffic. Support comes to clear out. Ball popped up. Watabe moved the ball on. Japan drive closer to that try line. Chui unable to get through the gap, but a recycle quickly into the hands of Ishihara. Well, pull back to fullback. Is there space here? Tries to drive the legs, reaches the line. It's a try for Noguchi. Japan at last get the try, and well deserved. The home fans, something to cheer about at last.
Well, John, it all came from a scrum deep inside their own 22. The blindside winger got involved, came into the hole where the out half was. You see it here, beautiful play from the blindside winger, and then it was the crisp piece of play that Japan had. He fixes 3 players essentially with clear hands. The ball is in front of the ball carrier, and all of a sudden they find themselves deep inside Ireland's 22. And from here, it's the first time in the entire match where they didn't panic. Now, I thought they had a couple of opportunities wider out if they went earlier, but great little play from Japan's full back, and disappointing Ireland will be not to have tackled them, but it all came from the best passage of play Japan have had off a solid scrum inside their own half and attacked into the Irish 22.
Matsuda takes over the place kicking duties. Makes no mistake, adds the 2 points. Still had a lot to do here, Noguchi.
He said Ireland 10 and 3.
Yeah, because Jackson will want, if he's beaten on the inside, he'll want the armoury of the forwards coming in to make that hit.
Then we'll take that as the water break. It was on the 20 minutes, so we can play it on from there. Have a long break.
All right, mate.
Oh, loose ball, Ruddock the first one too, it gets into the 22. Finlay Bealham is into the action. Looks like Dan Levy has returned, no number on his shirt. Kieran Treadwell on as well to make his debut. 22, Rory O'Loughlin is in. He's also making his debut. Big moments for the 2 young men, one from Ulster, one from Leinster. Well, the Japan defensive line up very, very quickly. Now have Ireland created the space, quick ball. Scannell is at fly half, fires the ball out, but Japan up to make the tackles. McGrath comes away, here's Conan. Leach eventually brings Conan to ground. The ball is there for Ireland. Kilcoyne couldn't get the legs driving. Matsuhashi made the tackle, Earls couldn't hold on to it. Turnover now, what can Japan do from deep? Boot to ball. It's a long clearance downfield. O'Halloran has to chase all the way back deep into the 22. Conway's back on, his sin bin is over. O'Halloran plenty of time. Does the sensible thing, finds touch. Japan wasting no time. Take the line out quickly. Noguchi throws it longer infield. And Japan look to kick for territory over the head of Conway. Got fingertips to it, but was able to return and retrieve it. And gets the ball over the advertising hoardings. No chance of a quick line at that time. So a frenetic passage of play ends with a line out just outside the Ireland 10-metre line. Jack O'Donoghue back into the action, replacing Rhys Ruddock now. Must have been on for a blood substitution for Levy. Yamanaka bouncing off the first tackle. Ball presented nicely.
And Gary Ringrose is still recovering from the hit on his shoulder. A bit of a stinger.
Well, Japan recycling, but they're just going backwards. Well, they created a little bit of space here. Earls, good tackle. Working well with Rory O'Loughlin. Well, Ishihara wrapped up well. Scannell doing his best to wriggle his way out. Not concede the penalty. Japan have the ball. Try a little chip through. Earl spots some space behind the Japan defence. Kicks into the 22. Slow chase from Ireland. Allowing Japan to kick the ball back. O'Halloran just about halfway. Goes infield to Conway. Lovely offload from the tackle. Levy to Conan. Conan drilled backwards. Quinn-Roo, good work from Quinn-Roo to Kilcoyne. Has Luke McGrath on his shoulder. Pops it to Treadwell instead. Treadwell 5 metres out. McGrath moves infield. Japan are the offside. Referee doesn't think so. The ball thrown all the way wide. Ringrose surely dances past the tackle. Touches down. And it's try number 6 for Ireland.
Try by Ireland, number 13, Gary Ringrose.
David Kilcoyne did exceptionally well, adding value onto the ball. I just thought he was going to die with the ball as he came through. Quinn-Roo again in the middle of it. Look at this great little breakout. I thought if he got the ball away earlier and didn't, but he did get the ball away. Superb little bit of interplay with him and Treadwell. And then you kind of say, how can you fix the Japanese outside backs, put the ball into each person's hands? But Gino Halloran goes to offload. I thought Ringrose could have popped it back into Conway, but didn't have to. His fast feet. Nice little try, but great little play from Dave Kilcoyne.
Yeah, the pass thrown wide by O'Halloran.
That looked like a tired effort from Michael Leach, the blind side from Japan. Ideally, you want to put the ball through the hands, fix the outside guy, and let the last Irish player score in the corner. But Ringrose did it very well against a very, very tired Leach.
Well, with Jackson having been replaced, Rory Scannell takes over the place kicking duties. 4 points against the USA from 2 conversions. On the mark with his first one today.
Goal by Ireland.
Well, we would have expected this to have been a tougher game for Ireland compared to the USA game, but the scoreboard is going.
Well, I think Ireland's performance has improved, and I think we mentioned the back three, the Munster back three again. That unit alone with Keith Earls was on fire. Jack Conan has been phenomenal, but I just think the breakdown work, and Paddy Jackson has added a huge solidity to the Irish performance as well. That said, I'm really disappointed in Japan. I was very excited about watching them play, watching their inventiveness, and a lot of time they've been quite ill-disciplined in what they did, both around the penalties and the sin bin, but also on their set piece, etc. I've been disappointed in Japan.
Kieran Marmion is on for Ireland. Wins his 15th cap. Leach winning the ball for Japan, thrown quickly into midfield. Oh, the offload just didn't work out. Yamanaka unable to hold on to it.
Knock on by Japan.
And that's the type of quality played it. We expected much better from Japan. Very inventive in the line-out. They shortened it again, and really good lines and running. And just that sloppiness is something that you don't expect from Japan. You expect a high level of technical ability and a high level of discipline. And that's just unfortunate. But good pressure from the Irish defence. But again, a cheap turnover from Japan.
Just get up. Just get before the engagement.
Luke McGrath still in the action. Marmion has come on in place of Gary Ringrose. Looks like he's lining up playing on the left wing. Earls has come into the centre.
I'm not sure, John, was that the stinger? Ringrose definitely, I know he scored a nice easy try, but a few minutes prior to that he took an awful knock on his left shoulder. Took him a bit of time to peel himself off the ground. Could be that, I don't know.
Fine. Set.
Great opportunity to go down the blind side. Super strong, solid scrum.
Ireland up to kick. Scannell kicks long. Nice take over the shoulder from Noguchi. Looks to push Ireland backwards. Quite get hold of that. Scannell has a look at his options. Decides to go infield, keep it in hand. O'Halloran goes to the air. One forward. Advantage, knock-on advantage to Japan. Yamanaka gets the ball away. Leach gets it into the hands of Matsushima. Haven't really seen much of the Japan right winger. Ireland. Good counter-rucking from Ireland, but didn't result in a turnover. Which way will this bounce? Into the hands of Conway. Glides past the first tackle into a little space. Can he offload? Just didn't come up. There's a little bit of space. Kilcoyne races into it. Can Kilcoyne go all the way? Oh, good tackle comes in. Kilcoyne 6 metres out. Earls acting as the scrum half. O'Donoghue coming on the burst. Levy, can he get the hat-trick? He had to stretch for that one. His body was open from the tackle. Great strength. Earls burrows under the tackle, and Earl scores. Try Ireland, get up to 50 points.
Well, I suppose that entire play should focus on David Kilcoyne in many, many ways, but Conway set it up, great anticipation, and of course the ball bounces perfectly for him. Look at the way he rides the tackles and switches the ball from left hand then into right hand to get his fend away. But it's the line Kilcoyne takes. Earl's a scrum half. But his line Kilcoyne takes just accelerates. He actually ran out of Irish support players. He was so quick. We actually get to see the very finish where Keith Oyles was a scrum half from the base. He looks exhausted, doesn't he? He looks wrecked.
Well, it's a game that's been played at a huge pace.
Unfortunately, the director has prevented us from looking at Dave Kilcoyne's run, because it's not often you get a prop in an Irish jersey running that type of distance. Superb play for him. So quick he ran out of defence, or ran out of supporters, I should say.
Scannell just pushes that across the face of the goal.
By number 12, Rory Scannell.
Into the final 10 minutes of the game. Japan 10, Ireland 50. It's been a disappointing performance from Japan. Very efficient from Ireland. They've really scored from every chance. Can we think back of any missed opportunities in the Irish team? Not many. Huge height on that box kick. Marmion chased. Quinn still plenty of energy left late in the game.
He's done okay too, isn't he, Quinn? He's picked up some good attacking plays outside, wide out, and used good hands. But crucially, he's the tight head second row, so his weight and his bulk is definitely adding and supporting the likes of Finlay Beelum, obviously. But to play this long as a tight head second row is a good effort on his part. But he's showing he's great in the trenches. So Devin Toner started off on the loose head, and obviously he's been joined now by Treadwell who came out of the Harlequins Academy, and Irish mothers qualifies him to play for Ireland.
Well, for boxing fans, there's live WBO European title fight. Paddy Barnes against Silvio Altiano tomorrow from 7 p.m. Box Nation. Again, penalty coming for the scrum. Conan comes away with the ball. Tired tackles from Japan at this stage. Scannell, Earls throwing it wide to Conway, back in field to O'Halloran, trying to find a way around the outside. A lot of red and white shirts there now. McGrath saw there's nobody home. Japan reacted quickly, tapped. Leach with Ishihara on his shoulder. Nagara has to dig in to get the ball out. Well, Japan finding it difficult to get through the Irish defensive line on that 22. Forced to kick. Scannell gets the ball in the second attempt. Just made sure he didn't knock it forward. Two Irish chasers, but well taken. Claimed by Matsuda. Matsushima. It looks threatening at times, but just hasn't had a clear break, really. It's an awkward one for O'Halloran, staying in play.
Stay on. Stay on.
He's done well to keep that one in play, tight to the touchline and avoid the block down.
Stay white.
Matsushima decides to kick. And there's two very tired sets of players out there.
Yeah, it's on the line. It's on the line.
Sorry, boys, I couldn't see if it's on the line or not.
This is the third time Jack O'Donoghue has come onto the pitch.
This time replacing Jack Conan.
Is that good to go?
So he's replaced all three back rowers at some point in this game.
He's been like, it's very hard to frame the performance of Ireland against the USA and Japan because the opposition has been that poor. But you cannot doubt or deny the performance of Jack Conan. You cannot doubt the same for Keith Earls. Two phenomenal performances from both players.
Well, counter-rucking just over-successful, if anything, from Japan. They got clear of the ball, but there's no support players coming to steal it, and Ireland have recovered the possession just on their own 10-metre line.
This play's not down.
Blocking again. Penalty's been taken quickly. The Japanese players looking to give their supporters something to cheer about late in the game. They get the ball all the way wide to Leach. Bounces off the tackle from Earls and comes back in field looking for support. Ishihari's done plenty of carrying since coming on. Have they created the opportunity here? Fukuyoko goes down the corner. He's looked threatening throughout the game and gets in for a try. He just has that lovely skip to go left to get outside the tackle. Second try for Japan. The red flags wave around the Akopa Stadium.
Again, when Japan put a bit of zip into their play and keep their accuracy high, they have enough quality players like Leach to add value, but that left winger, phenomenal from Fukuoka. Just second time he gets outside the last defender. Luke McGrath, I think it was, will be disappointed obviously, but that's superb play from the left wing. And it just looked like Ireland switched off for a tad and ultimately were punished.
McGrath receiving some attention. Rikia Matsuda with the conversion attempt. unsuccessful on that occasion.
Just give us a second, please. We just want to see what's happening with that play. Okay. Just let that guy know that he's been stopped.
John Ryan coming back for Ireland.
Is he on? Okay, boys, what's happening here?
Luke McGrath ice pack to his forward. Dan Levy back on, some heavier strapping.
Okay, number 3.
Took a cut over the eye.
Number 3. Number 3.
Marius van der Westhuizen just struggling to get the message, getting the message on the side. There's all sorts of confusion here. Fourth official not really helping the referee. The referee's decided he's had enough. Let play go on.
Was he implying that Joe Smith had a clever ploy to add another man, 16 Irish players or something?
Into the final 2 minutes of the game. Japan running the ball from deep. Well, this is much, much better from Japan. A little pep in their step after that second try. Leach in the line, they get it to Fukuoka once again, back in field. It's going to be a score. Nagara's going to get into the corner for a third try for Japan, and the crowd are on their feet. Not too much reaction from the coaching staff.
That's exactly the type of performance I was expecting from Japan. That little cameo there of a couple of about 30 seconds where they were very creative about how to fix Irish defenders. Look at the pullback pass, 2-on-1, convert to 2-on-1, offloads. That's what I was expecting to see from Japan today. That kind of clever interplay where you're just getting the Irish defenders to get their outside shoulder and twist them in, and the space they're creating that they get outside. That's the stuff Eddie Jones is brilliant at. You see England doing it all the time, you see Japan doing it, and I just felt for the vast majority of the 80 minutes Japan have not been doing that, and it's so disappointing because clearly they have it in them when you see that. Now Ireland obviously would be disappointed to allow them that opportunity and the reads and all that to be fixed and to give the space to allow them to score the try, but still that's what I was expecting from Japan.
Matsuda converts from wide. Nagara, the try scorer, applauds his outside half. Well, the hooter sounds. There's time for one more play. Is there time for a fourth try for Japan? Well, they're certainly looking for it. Ireland defending high. Will Tupou, good strength from him. Treadwell with the tackle. Kilcoyne tried to snaffle the ball but was cleared off his feet. Clever little short pass. The referee decides it was just forward. And Marius van der Westhuizen blows the final whistle. Full-time score, Japan 22, Ireland 50. Shudahori, the captain, will be disappointed, but Japan came back fighting at the end. 2 late tries to put a bit of respectability on that scoreboard. Efficient performance from Ireland. 2 tries from Earls, 2 for Levy, 2 from Conan, 1 from Gary Ringrose. A few injuries picked up as well, might be a little bit worrying for Joe Schmidt. 2 sides all shake hands. The game was played in a great spirit and played at a great pace. There'll be very tired bodies.